Sean, we're here in Ballinafad and the playground is due to open. How did it all come about?
Timmy came about a year ago. Councillor John Ballinafad proposed the idea of a playground and that there was funding for such a facility throughout the county of Sligo. And he asked, would we have a location, would we have a need for such a facility? Following that, we organised a meeting of the local community in which was a large crowd in attendance. They formed a little subcommittee to progress the project, and definitely there was a definite recognised need for a playground activity in the parish of Ahna. Following that, we had we've never been involved in the whole leader funding process, and the first thing we recognised was the need to form a company in order to channel any funding that would be got for the project, to channel it through that company. So for that reason then we set up Ahna Parish Council Limited. It was set up in the 1st of June in 2010. There's 5 directors on that company, and one of the directors is actually a member of the subcommittee working on the playground. Since the 1st of June 2010, the company has progressed 2 projects. One project in Ballyrush. We've done the car park in Ballyrush. Cost approximately €30,000, and we received funding of about €24,000 from Leader. That's a fabulous asset to the community down there, and we're very proud to get that project completed. It was our first project, probably a smaller project, but it was a great way to find our way and get through the Leader process. The playground committee then, comprising of Pádraig Shannon, Breach Higgins, Deirdre O'Gara and Lorraine Carty, Pádraig being the chair, they worked very hard from, we'd say, May of 2010 to explore the whole playground process, the equipment, the different designs, styles, and there's a huge amount of work in that whole area. They spoke to a number of companies. The work they did was just phenomenal, and the culmination of that was an application to Leader in November 2010. Just prior to that application, they went to tender through a consulting engineer, Michael Rowley and Associates Consulting Engineers. They invited 5 companies to tender, and the companies were asked to design and build the project, and the design with the best equipment and the best design won through, and the company that won through the project, or that was recommended by Michael Rowley and Associates, was Go Play Limited. Then, as I said, the committee completed the application. It was given to Ahna Parish Council Limited, and we progressed the application through into Leader. Thankfully, we were awarded €121,000 in funding from Leader in December 2010, which was a huge achievement, given that it was six months. The company is only 6 months old at this stage, and now even a year before our first, 1 year on, just less than 1 year on, we've virtually completed the playground project. So you could say that in the year we have completed €160,000 worth of project, which is a huge achievement. €160,000. So, but great credit has to go to the committees in Ballyrush, to the directors in the company, and the playground committee for all the work they've done.
Sean, tell us a bit about the fundraising. So there was 160,000.
160,000 in Leader funding, channeled through Ahna Parish Council Limited. But in order to access that funding, we recognise the need as a company and as a community, the need to have you need to have matching finances. Generally, the funding is 75%, and we've put up 25% ourselves, which generally comprises of the value of the property, the value of the financial contribution, and any voluntary labour that we channel through the project. So for that reason, we recognised that as a company, we really needed to have a fund of money in place to try and progress these projects through. The Playground Committee started their fundraising right from the off, having barbecues after every Sligo game, and thankfully we won a number of games last year, so we had a lot of barbecues. So they raised quite a bit of money through that. We had a fancy dress on Halloween night, which raised something like €1,500. I'm not exactly sure, but quite an amount of euro, not a lot of money. Then we had the Patrick's Day parades the last 3 years, raising an average of 10,000 each year. we're having an Easter social on Sunday night. We're hoping to raise 10,000 from that particular event. So all of these different fundraisers are building up our fund and ensuring that we have the money and finances in place to progress the projects. But also, in order to progress the projects, we obviously we pay the company such as GoPlay. We have to pay them on stage payment. So that means that we have to secure bridging loan from the banks. In order to secure bridging loan from the banks, we need to have a good pot of money in our own accounts. Yeah. You know, so basically, it's all about having being fairly financially secure ourselves and being in a position to secure bridging from the banks as well, that they are satisfied that we're able to make the repayments back. It's a fairly secure process because an offer of leader funding is an actual contract. So once we get the letter of offer, the bank are usually quite satisfied to give us the bridging loan funding to progress the project through.
And how far along is the project? Like we can see already that it's fairly close to completion.
I would say we'll be finished in about 2-3 weeks. Yeah. We're about 90% complete. Value-wise, we're about 90% complete. Right. There's about 10,000 euros worth of works out of the 130,000 to be finished, and that'll be done over the next 2 or 3 weeks. Okay. So we should be in a position to open the playground within probably late May, early June.
And there are a lot more kids now around Ballinafad. It's going to be more valuable than ever.
Well, they're chomping at the bit, Timmy, to get in here and play. And they're standing outside the gate there, and they're wondering when is the playground opening, and you know, when can we get in? And look at all this lovely equipment. I wish I could play in it. And that's a quote from one child I heard.
So Sean, tell us about some of the equipment that we have here. We'll have a look in closer detail, but what's this in front of us that we have?
Well, basically up at the top up here, Timmy, we have a MUGA, basically a multi-use games area. We can play basketball, soccer, tennis, any tarmac type games. It's very secure. It's brand new fence. Basically, it offers a very safe amenity for children to play in. Parents can just sit outside the gate and make sure the children are safe as houses. There's no real risk of accident. The children are safe inside in the MUGA. Just down here below, I don't know, can we just see, but we have some adult equipment, some flexibility equipment. We have for the fit person, we have a chin-up machine where we can do a bit of running on the running machine, and we have a hip flexor, and we have a shoulder flexor for adults. And we hope to expand on that equipment. We're going to see how people use it, how often it's used, is there a need for it, and if we see that it's getting a nice bit of use, then we might look at putting in another couple of pods of that type of equipment further down into the park. And we're fairly confident that we get funding to do so if we needed to do so. Then you have a range of swings and games activities for children. The piece de resistance really is the zip line, which the children absolutely love. We had them in.
Adults have a go.
There were a number of big children, let's just so to speak, close on 60. Some of them were on it, and they quite enjoyed it as well. So the children really loved that. It's brilliant just to watch. We had a number of children in there last week just testing the site out, and it was great just to watch and see what activities they enjoyed most. But definitely the zip line and this little merry-go-round here caught a lot of attention. You can see the fabulous scenery as well. Like the park is in a beautiful setting. I would confidently state that it's rare to see a playground in such a wonderful setting as you have here.
Great. So, and coming around, there's a couple of other pieces as well.
Yeah, there's a toddler's swing over here, and they're very safe. The children can sit into the swings, and they're really safe little swings. We have a number of slides here as well. The other thing as well is this. The surface is made from is a combination of stone underneath, recycled tyres, to give a nice bounce, and recycled Nike runners. So the top of the surface here is actually recycled Nike runners, so you're getting some reuse and recycling of products here as well. Excellent. You're also we're also depicting some of the local well-known local monuments. We have just under the toddler swing we have Ballinafad Castle, shape of Ballinafad Castle.
What does this actually represent then?
Yeah, GoPlay deserve great credit for the design that they've put to us. They sought details of local history and our culture and football teams and what we're involved in, and looked at the lake and so on. So the first thing we're looking at here is Ballinafad Castle, which is obviously a very central monument in the village of Ballinafad. Yeah. It was actually the first castle. It was built to guard the Red Earls Road. So it's a very significant historical piece of architectural heritage. So this is what this little design signifies here. So it's good that the children understand, what it's all about and where they're coming from, and they get a sense of pride in place.
Excellent.
So then, as you can see here, you can see the Nike surface, and it's basically recycled Nike runner. So it's great bounce to us.
Soft,
yeah. It's very safe. The whole idea is that when a child falls, that the likelihood of them breaking an arm or hurting themselves is the risk is reduced significantly. I don't know how you and I came safe when we were kids, but
this is another feature within the park then.
Yeah, here we have, as you know, we have Loch Arrow here to the front, a very famous fishing lake for brown trout, and we have some fish, so depicting the lake. We have a couple of brown fish over here, just over here to our right. So that's depicting the brown trout. So just the whole design just ties in with the Loch Arrow lake beside us here, which is one of the most well-known fishing lakes in the West, if not in Ireland.